Okay, welcome to my review for the 2019 film Us. I saw it, I liked it. I'm just gonna get right into this review as I always do. I After seeing Jordan Peele's Get Out, yeah, I discovered this guy as a director. I didn't know anything about Jordan Peele. I really knew nothing about him. I didn't even know who he was until his first directorial debut with Get Out. I love that movie, as I said back in 2017. That was a fantastic freaking movie. So, of course, after watching that movie and loving it, I'm sure a lot of other people, was excited to watch this movie. And I'm so glad to say that it is good. Probably another classic in my opinion. Either for him or the horror genre in general. It's just this guy is good at what he does. And I'm going to take a quick second just to really focus on that because I've never reviewed a movie of his before. Even though, he hasn't directed that many. I really like his style because I've imagined that when he's writing this shit down, it's funny, right? So I imagine like the writing process of it is funny. It comes across funny. Like when you hear it, it doesn't sound like something that would be in a horror movie. Like if you've ever seen one of his movies. So then in the filming process, they film it as horror. Like I imagine that scene in Get Out where the guy's running at him. Like, that could work in a comedy as well. And a lot of the shit that happens in this movie could work as a comedy. In fact, this movie actually is pretty funny, which I'll get into a little later. But these ideas that can be comedic, he has a great way of turning them around and making them into this really fun horror type movie. Like, Get Out was horrific in some parts, but mostly just fun. And what he does with this movie is it is very fun watching this family going up against this like doppelganger version of their of them and watching them trying to survive and all that. It was very fun in a horror movie way. And I will say Jordan Peele for this movie does a good job of keeping you intrigued. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I was actually pretty intrigued from just the opening scene or shot of the film. I was very intrigued because I wanted to know what this meant, what that meant, where does that fit, how does that, like, will that come back? And sure enough, some things do come back, like shots and scenes, I guess. But what I did not expect for this movie is that the humor. This movie was actually surprisingly pretty funny, and that's a weird thing to say about a horror movie. It's like this guy is the director, Jordan Peele, which I'll keep mentioning. I know that he is a comedian, right? I didn't know this. I didn't know this before I watched these movies, Get Out and this movie. But now knowing that he is a comedian, it makes sense, that his horror movies would have an air of comedy to them. And I really like that, especially Winston Duke in this movie. Man, he was freaking hilarious in this movie. He was probably the funniest part of the movie and one of my favorite characters in the movie. I love him as M'Baku. I've seen interviews with Winston Duke, and he's actually a funny guy. So seeing that come out on screen in this movie was refreshing to see in a horror movie. But there is one part or one character in this film and performance in this film that I have to give credit to, and that is I probably should have searched up how to pronounce her name, but the mother, okay, the mum of the family. I can't pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try because I know I'm going to botch it, okay? I fucking loved her. She did such a good job in this movie, which is not too much of a surprise because I actually do know of the actress. I saw her in 12 Years a Slave, which was the first movie that I saw her in. And then I saw her in Black Panther. There's no doubt this actress is really good. She's been around for a while now. So it's no surprise that she's going to give a good top-notch performance. But man, I don't know, it's just, at a certain point in the movie, I was like, man, this girl, lady, she has got me. Like, she hooked me, man. She was so good. Like, not just as like the evil doppelganger version of herself, but the normal version of herself. Just anything she does in this movie, it's just she performs it so well. I'm just completely invested in this character, and more importantly, the family as well, of course. So to recap what I just said, the movie was unexpectedly funny. Dare I say, funnier than the comedic parts of Get Out. It was fun to see the families fight to survive and fight against this threat, this looming threat. The actress, the main actress, the lead actress, was the best part of the movie. And Jordan Peele's direction, and how he films scenes, and how he just, I don't know, because it said, the movie said that it was written, produced, and directed by him. So if it was written by him, then his writing, his direction, his everything that he puts into this movie just keeps me locked in, entertained, and intrigued throughout the entire runtime of the film. But however, I do have one complaint. One complaint. That's it. The surprise twist at the very end of the movie about a certain character. I'm not going to say who it is, but I saw it coming pretty much from the beginning of the movie, and I was unsure as to whether or not they were actually going to go through with it, but when they did, I was like, I don't know, that it just felt unnecessary to do that surprise twist. I don't know, it didn't really need to happen, and when it did happen, it kind of confused some things for me. I don't know if that's the same for others, but I don't know. I felt like the movie's ending would have been a stronger ending without the surprise twist. That's all. That's really the only negative that I have with the movie, and that's it. Other than that, all the points that I recapped make this one of the year's best movies, in my opinion. So go out. If you're watching this review, you've probably already seen it. But man, if you have some thoughts on the movie, comment down below. If you liked it, comment down below. All that stuff, la-di-da-di-da. And I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe.